This is a good one because everybody wants to protect their life force, right? A lot of times we don't know though because the mind blocks it because like most people don't have self-honesty. They can't do introspection and see how am I like living a destructive life and burning up my life force. Just don't know. Or this is worse, they do drugs or drink or do whatever, take pills. That keeps you numb from knowing the things that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. It like gives you a get out of pain free card to go live a debaucherous life, and then all you got to do is medicate yourself so then you don't feel the consequences. That only works for so long though, obviously. But I'm just saying, this is why people who, if you don't have any, if you have very less addictions and dependencies on things, you may feel like you're in trouble, man. You're like, why is life so hard? I'm clean. Yeah, that's the point. So you're feeling everything. So then you can do your introspection and you need to look. This is how you take your life back. You look and see, because you have now more of a sound mind. You can see like what you're doing you shouldn't be doing. But the three ways, if I oversimplify, that we burn our life force up the most or lose our energy is dopamine addiction. Now you can throw the semen retention in there. I'll explain about that. Semen retention or PMO, watching porn, masturbating, all that stuff, orgasm especially. That's hardcore dopamine addiction. Dopamine stimulation. I mean, which then turns into dopamine addiction because like it feels good and it allows you to escape from the debauchery that you're creating that you don't want to look at. It's such a vicious cycle, this thing that it's like we're living in a hospital of delusion, you know, and just everybody's deluded. And then the internet nowadays in society, they're like, yeah, we'll help you go do this and do that and take this pill and do this technique. And man, none of that works. We have to like actually look at ourselves and change. There's no loophole. It's just, I spent decades looking for the loophole. I didn't know I was looking for it. That's the thing. We don't even know we're like looking for a loophole. We think we're like trying to do better. Like, oh no, I'm trying to do better. No, you're trying to escape yourself. You don't want to do the real work. But life makes you do it at some point. That's what happened to me. I didn't like just one day say, oh, I'm gonna do the real work. No, this is the evolutionary process. Wisdom starts to activate. All these things we try don't work. So then everything, we kind of hit bottom. We burn out. We get sick of ourselves. We surrender. And then grace works through us and gives us downloads of real wisdom. And then we start to figure things out. Nobody can teach you this stuff until we're ready. If you don't have those channels aren't open, if those respondent vibrations aren't activated, then you could be with the highest master and you can't hear or implement anything that he or she's saying. So, back to the subject at hand. So the first thing we lose our life force is with excessive dopamine stimulation. And so PMO is one of the biggest things for that. And it's just so easy to do. You don't have to go to a drug dealer and score anything. You are the drug dealer. You can give it to yourself anytime. That's what makes it so precarious. And make a list of all the dopamine stimulating things you're doing that give you like a negative dopamine. Now, some people say, well, you know, what about music? What about, you know, being in nature? Well, obviously that's different. That's a different grade of dopamine. That's healthy. It's not addictive. It's not stimulating. Depends on the music. You're listening to hardcore rap. I was a hardcore rapper in high school. Then that's going to give you you can feel it, can't you? It's more of a stimulating sense of dopamine versus if you're in nature, versus if you're listening to, you know, some sattvic, more calm music, or bhajans, or hymns, or, you know, whatever. So you make a list of the overstimulating dopamine things that you're doing, and then you work at stop doing it. You're not going to be perfect, but you make a start. That's all you can do. The other thing is that the food that we eat, Ayurveda says it can take up to 35-40% of our life force to digest food. Those who have some kind of intense health element or chronic pain or illness or something, you'll find that out even easier, more. Like those people will know that better because they're already sensitive. Their nervous system's already compromised. So for them, they know, they feel it. I used to hate eating when I was growing up. Every time I ate, my nervous system took a huge hit. I was just tired and dull, and I didn't feel good, and anxiety, because I was eating heavy foods. I'm not going to get into diet. My point is, like, you find the diet that makes you feel light, and then you be aware enough to know, are the foods you're eating making you heavy and causing these symptoms that I'm talking about, or do you feel light? For me, I like making tonics, herbal tonics, and I like fruits, good fruits, and I like to eat clean. Avocado sandwich with fresh vegetables, put some organic mayonnaise and mustard, make it taste good, have some vegetable soup or rice and steamed vegetables. I like that. Peanut butter, organic peanut butter jelly sandwich to get that grounding earth element. And then, when I eat foods that have too many ingredients and are too processed, it's too heavy. So find your way. I'm coming out with some books, 5 of them, and then one of the books are going to be True Health, and then you can read that, and So that's the second thing. The food we eat, that can steal a lot of life force from you. The last thing is your basic lifestyle habits, what you're doing in life. You have to sense, are you making a compromise inside yourself when you're going to do what you're doing? Now, if you can't help it, that's different. If you have to work and you have to make money and you have a family, and you're working at a job that, you don't want to be at, but you have to do what you have to do. That's different. I'm talking about voluntarily putting yourself in situations that stealing your life force. You go there, it ties in with the whole dopamine stimulation, but you go to a place or you're around a certain person or you're in a certain situation and you just feel like you had some energy before you got there, now you don't have any energy left. You leave it's like you took a sleeping pill or something, or that inner compromise is burning up your life force. It's like God's saying, why are you here, man? You can't thrive when you're in this situation. You need to be in a more auspicious matching situation. Pay attention to that voice and start muscling up and doing the things you need to do. And again, it's different if it's a life situation where you have to do it. That's different. But you look at all the things that you don't have to do that you're doing, and if you stop those, you're going to find that this job that you don't like, you'll have more energy. Even though it takes your energy, you'll have more energy. It's better to do 1 or 2 things because you're forced to, that are taking your energy, than to be doing that and then have a bunch of other things on the side that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing. Some people, they have their whole lifestyle just sucks their energy, everything. The people they're around, the diet they eat, the work, just everything. What they do on a daily basis, they watch TV, they're jerking off, they don't get any kind of natural support from their environment, they're not outside. I don't even know how they live. Well, then they take a bunch of pills. That's the thing. You go to the doctor, they don't talk about this. They don't talk about, well, let's look at your lifestyle. No. What are your symptoms? Okay, here. And they'll give you something, either to stimulate the body or to repress the body. If your body's not doing something it should do, here, take this. And then it's going to make the body do it. And if the body's having symptoms that you feel it shouldn't have, here, take this, and it'll make symptoms go away. Do you really think that's the way to do things? You think there's not going to be some blowback from that later? We're just not educated as a whole. This information's not widespread, that's why. But it's out there, right? Those who are watching this video, you found it. It's about law of attraction. The rest, most people are just collateral damage. They just are. You can't do nothing about it. It's okay. They'll learn at some point. It's not their only life. All right, I'm gonna go. Intruders coming. See you.